Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's GeneralTarheel, your coach at Charizards, bringing you the SDL Season 6 Week 7 battle versus Coach Justin and the Detroit Luxrays. Coming to Week 7, we did pick up our first loss last week against Coach Sean and the Galactic Ninjas. Make sure to check that out if you haven't yet. It was an amazing prep on his part and a really nice battle. Now, for Week 7, we are facing Justin, who is a solid homie in SDL, and people give him a lot of like shit because he's not always the best at the game, but he's got a really scary roster, which I'll throw up on the board. I absolutely hated this matchup. He's got Tornadus T, Toxapex, Tangrowth, Mamoswine, Meanchow, Mega Houndoom, Latios, Magearna, and Luxray. So not only does he have the mascot pick, but he also has the Regen Core with amazing offense. Tornadus, Mamoswine, Mega Houndoom, Meanchow, and Latios is ridiculous, and Magearna, of course. Magearna can even be AV to go along with Toxapex and Tangrowth to add for more bulk. Tornadus can even be AV bulky if you wanted to. Honestly ridiculous. It's a very solid team. Of course, it only limits him to 9 Mons, which is kind of easy to prep for, but they're just amazing Pokemon in general. And my matchup is absolute garbage. Not only is this a Luxray, which is a garbage Mon in general. Yes, Justin, it's still garbage. Have a good matchup versus me and actually scare me like some Electrics do, but the rest of his team is just already scary. Even though I have my Milotic Mamoswines, it can still be a threat if I don't run like a really bulky one, kind of. And the priority kind of screws me over. Houndoom does a lot of damage because Milotic is still kind of like setup fodder, especially if he brings a Sunny Day Houndoom. I was kind of cucked, like straight up. But I was expecting like a Sucker Punch set in order for the Mega Alakazam and such. Or Pursuit. And then Latios does a lot of damage versus me as well. It can easily run just Electric Z in order to blow back either Milotic or Celesteela. Toxapex does a decent amount, except of course for my Psychic types and whatnot. That's the only thing he really kind of struggles with. But even then, he's got an AV Magearna in the back that can absolutely wall everything. Just absolutely eat everything up. So, coming into this, I was really not so happy about this matchup, because he kind of just destroys me. And his Z users, by the way, are Tornadus, Mamoswine, and Latios. Absolutely scary. I wasn't too sure what to expect, because he has a lot of great potential. But when I did see the 6 he brought right here, I was a little surprised with Magearna probably being AV, offensive Luxray, Houndoom probably offensive with the Sucker Punch or Pursuit, Mamoswine, not exactly sure, probably just a general Life Orb or Focus Sash set with Stealth Rock, Side Shard, and stuff like that. Latios, Electric Z, I'm predicting. Tornadus could be either offensive or AV as well. And as for my team build, which I almost skipped, I have Celesteela or Lady Liberty walking the weakness policy. This is a pretty bulky set with Totemize, Acrobatics, Heavy Slam, and Earthquake. Basically, this did a good amount versus his team. It lived any like +1 Thunderbolt from Latios, Electric Z from Magearna. Actually, Magearna can't use that, so whatever. Wild Charge from Luxray, I'm pretty sure I ate. If he was banded, maybe not. Actually, probably not. Screw me. And then I lived a Fire Blast from Houndoom. Basically, getting off my weakness policy. And if he was a Jolly Mamoswine, I did live the Ice Shard afterwards. So we had a Totemize, Acrobatics, Heavy Slam, Earthquake. It's just enough coverage to destroy his team. I was really hoping that I could get a sweep, but if he had any other coverage besides the Ice Shard, I was basically screwed. If he did have that Sucker Punch and Houndoom, and he wasn't not timid, and he was slightly attack invested, he would knock me out. So there's just that. But I just felt like it was gonna do some work. I didn't really want to bring any other Celesteela. I kind of brought some like more fun sets this week, kind of, or kind of creative sets, because I didn't like this matchup, and I wasn't really expecting to win, no matter how much shit we give Justin. So. Next up is Milotic Flame Orb Defensive. I really just wanted this to be a solid counter to Mammo and other things on his team, because I did want solid setup Celesteela. Recover, Scald, Haze, and Ice Beam. Just did tease him on versus team, nothing more, nothing less, just to take some bulk and whatnot. Then we have Tapu Lele. I have Assault Vest with this. We have Psychic, Moonblast, Nature's Madness, and Antipower Ground. Assault Vest just allowed me to take a few hits from a lot of his special attackers that he has on his team and get off a lot of damage, whether that is destroying Latios that might have been able to take me out with like a Go-See if he was carrying that, or live a Sludge Bomb from Houndoom and get off a lot of damage with like Moonblast. Just small things like that I felt like was going to be helpful. And next up we do have Alolan Marowak or Dead Fred. We have Shadow Bone, Fire Punch, Earthquake, and Stealth Rock with the leftovers, not the Thick Club this week. I was more of a Spadef Marowak with a decent amount of speed. This was basically to just to be a really solid check to Magirna, as well as Luxray if he does lock himself in, because then he can only hit me with Crunch and whatnot. Just a decent switch into a few of his mons in general, I felt like. Even though Houndoom does throw me out and stuff like that, I could possibly work around it. But it did a decent amount versus his team, and I wanted Stealth Rock versus him for sure, with things like Mega Houndoom, Tornadus, and just because he has the regen mods, it'd be nice to get chip on them just because they are getting 33% every single time. So I felt like Marowak was going to do a decent amount of work, and hopefully he could help me out in this unfortunate match. And then next up, what I was hoping was going to be the win con was my Hawlucha, Swords Dance, Acrobatics, Drain Punch, and Taunt with the Psychic Seed. Basically, I made this, are you kidding me? I'm just not realizing now I didn't have a nature on my Hawlucha. That's cool. I don't think it mattered in the end, but you'll see a part where it could have mattered. Hawlucha was basically setup fodder, or Toxapex was become setup fodder because I had taunt. It could not scald, or he's up versus me, so I could get up as many SDs as I wanted, even if he did Scald Burn me, and then hopefully I could just win with Acrobatics plus Drain Punch. Felt like it was going to do a lot of work. Luxray could E1 from full, but we would have to risk that either way. And then next up is Pikachu. We have Focus Sash, Legend 27 with Lightning Rod, Endeavor, Quick Attack, Nuzzle, and Knockoff. Just kind of utility. I wanted to try and cheese something with Endeavor, Quick Attack. I didn't really know what else to bring. It's just kind of an unfortunate matchup anyways. So as for going into that, we were just going to kick off the battle, as I did want to lead off with my Milotic, as he decides to lead off with his Luxray, which is a good scout. I wanted to go Luxray to play it, Marowak to play it safe, and of course he overpredicted turn 1, which I don't necessarily blame him. But he does show that he's choice, so I don't really see why he would do that immediately. But we go into Milotic here, get our Flame Orb, just gonna go for the Skull, get a nice Skull Burn on the Latios. I'm just going to opt to switch out here, going to Tapu Lele. It is my best switch since I do the Assault Vest, and he will just opt to go for the Electric Z right off the bat, which is very smart. Tapu Lele will eat that up, and then I know he's going to switch into Magirna here, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Nature's Madness. If he did have Shadow Ball, there was a chance he was going to get 2 shots there with Latios, but it's fine. He will make a double into Houndoom here, which is perfectly fine, because I can set up on this. He does go for the Heat Wave, which puts me at much better health than it would Fire Blast. So I'm going to go for the Autotomize on it. And right here, if I went for the Acrobatics, he wasn't Sash, there was a chance I could have killed this Mamoswine, which would have been really risky, but he did have attack investment in his Mega Houndoom with Sucker Punch, so it did not matter. It just would have came down to predictions, but I probably would have gotten it wrong, to be honest. So I'm just going to go into Pikachu on the Luxray, since I was expecting him to go for the electric move this time around. I'm going to go for Nuzzle. He does go into Latios, which is perfectly fine, because now I just get to go for the Endeavor, as he should go for just any attack. And we get off the Endeavor, and luckily we'll go down to the Burn. I'm just now realizing that Pikachu didn't actually pick up a kill, so that still sucks, because the kill goes to Milotic. Cry every time. Tornadus will just pick up U-turn and take out Pikachu, as I will just go into Tapu Lele versus the Houndoom. I'm just trying to get off damage and hopefully get off Hawlucha right here. Now, if I did get chip on that Luxray somehow, if he went for Wild Charge earlier, it would have been kind of helpful. Actually, no, at any point when he clicked it on my plays, it wouldn't have mattered. But we get this bit F boost, so he goes for Heat Wave. I was hoping this would do a little bit less. If he got a lower roll, I would have went for another SD, but couldn't risk it. So I will just go for the Drain Punch versus Luxray, and he'll just opt to go for the Wild Charge, and of course he will take us out, and he will go down to the Recoil. After this battle ends, I'm actually going to pull up a calc and see if that matters. So he's going to go for a Hurricane. We're just going to go for Scald. We lost at this point. It doesn't matter. They'll show he is Specs Hurricane, which is pretty interesting considering Justin doesn't normally land moves. But he lands the last 3 Hurricanes, and he will take me out, getting a nice 2-0 win for Justin. And like I said, I was expecting to lose. I did not have that good of a matchup. His defensive bulk and Toxapex and Tangrowth stopped my offense. If he was defensively bulky Toxapex with AV Tangrowth, and his offense just countered my defensive bulk so well. I wasn't expecting a win out of that, so I just decided to have fun with it, and I totally did. Like, it was fine. I just wish Celesteela could have done more work, as in actually picked up a kill. But right here, I'm actually going to go to the damage calc and see if that mattered, because I have a feeling it still wouldn't have knocked out, because that was 22%, and normally Adamant doesn't make that much of a damage roll. But we're going to check it versus this Luxray. because it's going to be very upsetting. Plus 2 Drain Punch. Yeah, that mattered. Actually, if I got Max Roll, it killed him, and he probably had like 1 or 2 HP investment in there maybe, so it didn't actually matter. But that was a great game to adjust in either way. So make sure to check out the P4G as it did go up yesterday. Check out the team builder for the APA that went up today as well, and look forward to the APA tomorrow. So that will be it from me today. Make sure to sub, like, share. Deuces.